at a time that my father was struggling with memory loss. He still recognized my mother, but he didn't recognize me anymore, and there was a lot he didn't know. I took a trip with my mother because she needed, as you know, people who care for other people in those situations need some respite. So we took a trip down from where she lived. She still lives, she's 97. Sharp as ever. Don't worry, she's fine. But we took a trip with her down out of Colorado, and I mean this poem to be about the kind of solace that the natural world can provide. My friend Peter Murphy said to me one time, "Barb, the world doesn't need another nature poem." And I've considered that, but I just can't help but feel he might be wrong. Leaving Colorado. A plastic sack caught on barbed wire doesn't know it seems an angel, white gown shimmering in first light, one arm extended to a wing. My hands warm on the steering wheel. The rest of me rides in last night's chill. A sudden swallow flicks past the windshield. Others move as the car moves, taking insects and flipping away. Stock ponds tilt up silver. 13 antelopes run together. All along the roadway, scent rises from golden clover. This is the kingdom of the senses. Anyone can serve it here in the glowing day. Mom wakes in the seat beside me. Someone else is watching Dad. She barely sleeps now, stopping him when he starts to stray. He still knows her. She's hanging on. I hear the tires' complaints, their oboe whine. Jackrabbits lie on the road, innocent ears flung open. I stole a book once, or I'm going to say I liberated this book. It was left in a room where I was teaching, and every day I would go in and think, I really want that book. And I took it. So, this is a poem about this. The name of the book was Living with Art. You know, one of those art history books with all those great pictures in it. So it's mine now. Living with Art. My hand went out to the book you left in room 301, and it was mine. I took what I wanted, the way I stole a man once, a boy really, told myself it didn't matter, then cried in his bathtub with claws. Anthony, you've gone to Florida with your girlfriend, and Living with Art was too big to fit in the car with your summer clothes, sleeping bags, CDs. The week I stole your book, my mother asked which was better, a lumpectomy or a mastectomy. It's about the first thing she's ever asked me, and I'm 54. I could see she was leaning toward the mastectomy, so I said, go for it. Have them take the whole thing. Why mess around, right, Anthony? She has a prosthesis now. Every night she washes it in liquid ivory and puts it in its little cradle so the oils of her body don't eat away at it before 2 years are up and the insurance people give her another one. That's what I call living with art. The prosthesis in its cradle, like the shape of a child, and the sculptured arms of its mother. So smooth I want to touch it, but when I do, it is cold. I want to tell you my health is great now. Don't worry for a minute, my health is great. But I did have ovarian cancer, and that was pretty scary. That was 10 years ago. I'm fine now. So I imagine there are people in the room who know people who have cancer who perhaps have had it themselves. And you do, or I did, I reached a point where I really was just begging. And this poem steals a little epigraph from Lucille Clifton, and you may know that she died recently, and it was a terrible loss to all of us who love poetry. And I took her line, I beg my bones to be good. Begging. I beg my pulse, my fecal smear on a doctor's test kit, my blood in marked vials. Come right this time. Bones, lattice me, my pruned self hung on you, greedy, striving. Stay warm, blue heart, stop kicking and bawling. Help me, apple, carry me on your smooth, round back. When I had cancer, one of the ways that I responded was to read a lot about it. I had this giant book about cancer. And one of the things it said is you should get the right word to tell your doctor what kind of pain you have. Now I tried that on my doctor and he burst out laughing, so this is not medical advice to you. That's mentioned, you know, I had the precise, you can imagine, you know, the English teacher getting just the word. And I also had a number of rituals that I went through, and some of those are mentioned in this poem. Periwinkle. My big book of cancer lists 68 words for pain. I light 2 candles, eat saltines, and start the OxyContin. Move a button from bowl to bowl each time I drink 8 ounces of water. It's a brave world, wan leaves in the new snow on the hill, an enormous sky. I spend the day watching the light. At dawn, there's a half hour of rose through ice at the roofline. By 5 at night, the green of the pines deepens to black. The snow in the sky turn the same blue-white. What's that blue my mother likes? Periwinkle? Named for the funneled flower. That blue scatters into the night, petaled shadows. I tie a blue bandana over my bald head. Chill filters in. I move the flowers my mother sent so I can see them when I look up from my heavy book. Each is still perfect, ice blue and tender. In this poem, I address my husband. That's this husband, the one you see before you. The cancer patient addresses her husband. There are holes in beauty, hollows in birds' bones, light years between the stars. Elegant, undulate fog drifts and sighs. Or is it trees sighing, oaks dangling scalloped leaves that cling through winter storms? Crows ready themselves to row once more over emptiness. I walk again, working against the ache of it. You know the neighbors watch my daily laboring. Always some joy. Yellow striped head of a kinglet, robins flocked where snow opens briefly under pines. I pull fresh bread from the oven, yeasty smell in the warmth all day. Comfort me with peaches, with hot broth, and what? The old ways of touching? It's lovely to lie down together, you beside my bare body. What are we made of? You kiss my breasts and bald head. Fierce kisses, bright red scars. I believe I am not yet dying.